Hey, ladies and Germans, how y'all doing? This is Con.
And I'm Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And today, of course, Steel Division 1v1. We are here on Columbell's in that factory. Rang, who do
hmm
we have?
Well, we have on the left-hand side in blue, it's just a Slim Dusty as the Guards Armored Division. And on the right-hand side in red, we have Pigeon Theo Man 222 as the Ninth Panzer Division. And hopefully receive some 222s from him.
I was just going to make that comment just now.
Yeah.
So, guards in the ninth.
hmm
Two kind of groups you don't see very often at all. I mean, of course,
No.
there's the whole fourth armored spam.
Yeah.
Tell us about the guards. How's this matchup look?
Both sides are pretty even points rise, as you can see. It's only a 5 point difference really throughout the entirety of the match. They're very even as well in terms of just phasing, because A phase for both sides is usually just some lighter tanks, a bit of infantry here and there, nothing too crazy. But both sides really come into stride in B phase with Guards Armored getting the Cromwells and the Ninth Panzer Division getting all those Panzer 4Js. But they're both more medium light armored decks compared to other tank divisions. So it's going to be interesting to see how they take advantage and maneuver around.
Well, and that's what I was going to bring up as well. So this map here, of course, is infamous for its kind of factory infighting over here. The
hmm
short-range firefights like crazy.
Yeah.
But we're going to look over here at the southern side of the map as we're looking at it right now. On the northern side, how does it play into the maneuvering issues or benefits of both division?
I think there'll be more chances of maneuvering around the northern side of the map. It's just got a bit better coverage, and it's not as choke pointy compared to the southern attack. The infantry fighting is going to be rather interesting. I mean, I've seen that Flampanzer. Thank God, love seeing that unit.
Mm-hmm.
But the Guards Armored, it's going to be more about using their fire support. While Theo or Mr. Pigeon, he has Panzer Grenadiers at long range. He'll do a damn good job.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, we are going to see some anti-tank coming over here on the northeastern side for good old Flyboy over here. And
hmm
looks like he's going to definitely need to be worried about that. So we see a lot of Humber Mark IIIs, a couple of Stuarts, and a Cromwell.
Yeah.
Does it look like maybe Slim Dusty's trying to overload one flank?
Definitely seems so. Especially with the, is that the Cromwell?
There's a Cromwell up there and two Stuarts. Yep. Oh wait, no,
It's two Stuarts.
no,
Well,
he
two
took the
Stuarts.
Cromwell out. Okay.
Okay, two Stuarts are still a good combination nonetheless. But doing some maneuver all throughout, Pierre's got the recon of the Humbler, he's got some infantry. If he can make some progress, that'll be damn good. He only has to really worry about Mortar 3s. And yeah, Mortar 3 could be a bit of a pain in the arse on that northern side, but it doesn't really seem to be the case. But against Panzer 2s and runs, he's going to have a rather easy time, I have to say, with those
Well,
Stuarts.
what about the infantry-based anti-tank here?
You can get Pack 38, and that's really it for Mr. Pigeon. But still, a Pack 38 is more than adequate to deal with a Stuart.
Sounds about right. We're gonna get started in just a
hmm
second here, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
And two, one. There we
Bang!
go.
There we
Lovely,
go.
lovely. I didn't want to have one of those 7 minute beginnings here. And wow, super conservative breakout. Actually, I feel like by both sides.
Yeah, I think both sides are really going to just deploy their infantry and then slowly move up the infantry with half-track support instead of just going all in full Russ. But yeah, we got the Flam Panzer going into the middle and a Cromwell fire support going into the middle. So both sides are getting those vehicles to help out. And not a single Panzer 2 or Panzer run from Mr. Pigeon. Just all light armor.
I'll
All
say, well, he'll
half
see the
tracks.
error in his ways. Just you wait.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I like about Knife Panzer is how flexible they are. You can do really well just having Panzer Grenadiers backed up with some vehicles and AT guns, or you could go for the crazy Panzer 1, Panzer 2 spam. I just really love the outer diversity. But for now, he's just going with the Panzer Grenadiers and the half-track support, a more light German opener.
Sounds about right. Now, one thing I guess I'm kind of always concerned about, and we talk about this every now and again, we of
hmm
course see the rifles against Pigrens is going to be Pigrens all the way.
Yeah, at long range, as the rifles are getting close, they do have two SMGs compared to the Peace Grange run. So, especially in this factory, it's going to be over a 100-meter engagement. It's a bit open between the no man's land of left and right. So I do
Mm-hmm.
give it to the PC Grange, and also with that Flampanzer, yeah, that can do some serious damage.
That's fair. That's fair. But if we're seeing more and more Stewards being brought on in, and that's
Mm-hmm.
definitely happening here,
Yeah.
is that Flampanzer looks like it's going to be well, his own goose is going to be cooked, I would think, right?
Yeah, if he actually gets into range of one of Stuart's bugger. But Slim Dusty going for the Stuart spam for A phase Guard Armor, which is a damn good idea because you can effectively get a Stuart every minute. And as we all know from the 4th Armored, Stuarts are really effective.
Sounds about right. It is kicking off inside that factory like you're talking about, and the Panzergrenz are establishing their dominance
Mm-hmm.
early on here. Flampanzer is moving on in,
There
so
we
it's
go.
delicious, delicious cookery.
Ah, that's hot and toasty, right? Yeah.
Just say that's the one kind of English cooking you're okay with, right?
Yeah, just plop it on the barbecue and let it be burnt.
Indeed, indeed. Stewart is going to go and start launching rounds at it, though. I would not be surprised to watch the Flampanzer back away pretty darn quick.
Mm-hmm.
Northern side doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on, so I go for it.
There's still a little bit safe in that courtyard. Just as long as he doesn't poke his head outside the courtyard area, he should be safe. But yeah, this is going to be a real tough issue right now for Mr. Pigeon because he needs anti-tank and tanks to really deal with these Stuarts. He does not want a overwhelming amount of Stuarts to break through.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. Honestly, the handling so far of that Flampanzer is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, he didn't rush it in suicidally and try to get a few kills. He burnt a little bit and then fell back. He's going to be using it for pretty much ambush tactics. Just
Ooh, and we're going to get ourselves the first Panzer II is coming on the map. Northern side is the Lukes. So we'll see how that goes. You've got good looks, bad looks, we'll definitely see. And I would think against that Humbler, he should do just about fine, right?
yeah, he definitely has some good looks against that.
Indeed, indeed. So of course, today, before we get too much further, when we're recording this, it is Armistice Day. We're going to go up, of course, a little bit late for that, but happy
Oh,
Armistice Day to our friends across the pond.
yeah, and also up north in Canada, as
I was going to say, yeah.
Mr.
We believe in the
Remembrance Day.
uncouth Veterans Day, but oh well.
But yeah, still going on in the factory. Slim Dusty is really trying to get that armor pushed now. He's very conservative with his Stuarts, which I'm rather surprised. If he were to move just a little bit north, he could start popping down some rounds maybe. Okay, maybe not. The Pentagon have fell back into the center factory area. But now the Cromwell and Stuart flanking down south and all its half tracks, it's not really looking good for Mr. Pigeon.
But is that really fair, though? 'Cause, I mean, we're also going to see a Pac 38. No, it's not. Okay. The Pac 38 is still south of that. Okay. So there's
Yeah.
a Pac 38 to the north. I think that's keeping those Stuarts from really being aggressive here.
Yeah, but we do have Panzer II down south now, and at the closer range factory fighting, its autocannon can deal with its armor, which is ideal location for the Panzer II.
And even more than that, we actually are getting that Panzer 1C coming
There we
in
go.
as well.
He's
And
starting,
another one of those to the north. So this
Yeah.
is, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised.
he's really starting to ramp up the little Panzer spam. I'm thinking for Pigeon, a real good idea would be getting a mortar half track to help out inside his factory, especially the 2-star mortar half track, because that 2-star mortar half track might as well be a machine gun. It shoots ridiculously fast. You can just stun up everything that comes at you. And just look at Slim. He's really overwhelming the infantry now into his place. And those Panzer Grenadiers are not in the best location. And I think it's not going to be too long till they're overran.
Even the Flampanzer there?
You got Piat armed motor rifles, so... Well, what am I joking about? A Piat will probably miss.
I was going to say, and actually, I think we finally had the first kill the entire game. It was a half track going on down with the infantry still inside.
Huh.
And do you feel maybe that Slim Dusty is concentrating his forces a little bit too much here?
He's concentrating very heavily in the middle, that's for sure. But it's working out because he's not really getting pressured on any of the flanks. So, except for right now, he's starting to get pressured up north a bit. But if he can capture his factory, once you capture it, it's pretty easy to hold. As it's just no man's land between you and the enemy. So if he can hold it, that's going to be a good position to just stage attacks from for the later stages of the map. And it's really well defensible as you got all of those buildings to hide in.
Sounds about right. Now, in terms of distance, kind of indirect fire, is it just the mortar half track that the guards armored have to be worried about, or what else we're looking for here?
Yeah, it's really just a mortar half track till C phase, and then they can get the Hummel. We can get an off-map artillery Panzer IV and B, but not all 9th Panzer guys get it. Yeah, at the same time, the Guards Armour did just buy themselves a Sexton, so yeah, it's more than enough to counter battery anything Mr. Pigeon can bring up.
I suppose the thing I'm surprised to see as well is that Slim Dusty, in terms of just absolute number of troops on the map, I might be wrong, but it feels like he has way more. And I don't think it's just because they're all concentrated in the center there.
Yeah, I mean, the British infantry, of course, are rather cheap, and he can buy a Stuart, essentially, every minute. But I'm thinking Pigeon, yeah, he's definitely spending more money up north now trying to make something happen. And hopefully he can make something happen up north because losing this middle will be a rather big blow to him.
Well, he already has taken out the Humber. It's
Hmm.
taken out the advanced groups, let's call them, as well as a couple of half tracks back there. Really, the only thing holding him back is this motorized rifle with a Piat, and now a Stuart coming to the north as well.
Hmm.
So P2 is going to find himself overmatched by that Stuart. Question is, will the infantry pick him off, or will it be the Stuart?
Probably Stuart infantry a little bit far off now. Yo, maybe the
Yeah,
Panzer
true.
II was to hide in that like little town area and then ambush the Stuart as it comes a bit closer. Yeah, and you can get a kill with the autocannon.
True, true. And maybe I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying. It looks like he's trying to. No, never mind. I thought he was going to be going to hide, like you said, just the south behind those
Hmm.
buildings. The Stuart's going to see him at this point.
Yeah,
Got to definitely start moving here.
yeah. You might want to run away, Panzer II. Don't just shit. Yeah.
In the meantime, those Stuarts are lofting rounds downrange, half tracks as well. Dear God, so the Germans are losing more and more ground here.
Hmm.
But the Panzergrenz, as well as that Führer, are holding
I
strong.
know. Yeah, I'm quite surprised. Really, I think it's gonna be a matter of time before the rifles just overwhelm him. And we've got another Panzer Grenadier squad. Too bad he doesn't have a Pioneer squad because that would really help hold out that factory area. But yep, here goes the PZ Gren, and I don't think Pigeon's really longing for the factory much longer.
On the plus side of things, at least he was able to get about 440 tickets.
Hmm.
I do feel also he might be wasting an opportunity down to the south.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, does have that one spar trooping, but you also gotta realize, they can't see what we can see right now.
Of
But
course.
if he was just maybe rush one half track, see how far he can get, and then try to do an attack. Because damn, that'd be really good if he can get some ground down south rather quickly.
I actually feel kind of bad right now that Pac 38 to the southern side of that canal, let's call it, has beautiful flank shots on three different tanks. He should be taking this
Oh,
right now. He's got him on hold fire.
oh, that's not
There
good.
we
There we
go.
go, there we go. Is he
Never
just
mind.
aiming? Yeah, he's
Never
just
mind.
aiming.
He's lulling into a false sense of security. Now the Flampanzer are coming on in. In the meantime, Stuart's going to get hit by that Stuart pretty darn quick.
The Flampanzer Russ. Uh,
Yeah, brave amateur, I believe.
Yeah, Stuart's gonna get close by and... Oh no, he got the train car blocking the Stuart and the Flampanzer, and the Flampanzer could get close enough just to flame the Stuart. Oh, I want to see what happens, okay. Okay, here comes the Stuart.
I don't think it'll generate that
Nope.
much suppression that quickly. And
Uh,
it's going to be pretty much, yep, there we go.
ah,
Pac 38 in the meantime, though, does take down Stuart to the south, forces the other two tanks back, so it does give 222 over here a little bit of a reprieve.
mm-hmm. And we're about to head into B phase very shortly, so hopefully Mr. Pigeon can start ripping out those Panzer IVs and mortars quickly to deal with this overwhelming tank threat that Slim Dusty's really built himself up for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, in terms of kind of anti-tank overall for the guards, we look at Piat squads, looking at 6 pounders, material like that, correct?
Yeah, now we're into B phase, they can start getting Fireflies, which are, of
Mm-hmm.
course, very scary. 17 pounders, which are, of course, also very scary. And then once into C phase, Achilles, which are, guess, very scary. So they got a lot of high AP power weapons. So that's going to make the Tiger a little bit of a risky choice for Pigeon during C phase. And his Panzer IVs, he's going to be a bit careful with them, especially in the more open ground engagements, as they can't outrange your 17-pounder weaponry.
True, true. And it does look like Pigeon was saving up some ticketage there, because as soon as we came in, we saw two P4s that
Oh, wow.
completely just kind of
Hmm.
apparate onto the battlefield here.
Yeah, those Panzer IV-Js are no joke.
Shockingly enough, though, it feels like Slim Dusty has been controlling a lot of this territory. He's only got 80 tickets.
Yeah, I think it's really just holding that little bit on the flanks, up north and down south, really helped out Mr. Pigeon quite a bit. And also just, it's only been like, what, 4 minutes since Slim Dusty has completely had control over the factory, so it's not too bad, Joe. At the same time, Pigeon needs to try and gain some ground somewhere, because he will lose at his +1 pointed disadvantage.
Very accurate. Very accurate.
God.
Now we are going to see another P4 coming to the northern side. So that's what, 3 on the map already.
Yeah, that's a
What's
lot.
that? Almost all of his card, isn't it? I would think that there's
You can get
4 per card.
5. You can
Five.
get
Thank
you
you.
can get 5 in B phase, and then 8 per card in C phase. So if you just take one of each card, you're really not going to run out of Panzer IVs unless you're really bad with your tank management.
That sounds about accurate. P4 is going to establish himself in the northern side. Takes out a half track to start with. With a Sherman coming in as well as that Stuart, he's not going to see the Stuart by any stretch of the imagination, but maybe, just maybe, he'll get a shot off on that Sherman.
Yeah, it's going to be a rather even trade-off between one another, but I think the Sherman's just going to wait for the Panzer IV to get a bit closer before he ambushes it with that and the Stuart, because if both tanks wear the bare guns and the PZ4, yeah, and he's buggered essentially.
Well, and what's more, he is bringing on in a Firefly.
Oh boy, is that Yeah, okay.
And a Dingo behind it.
Or 1 star, I mean, with the Dingo, of course. But
yeah,
Firefly is going to be a pain in the ass. Really, the only best counter for it is Pack 40s and Marauders, anti-tank destroyers right now for Mr. Pigeon.
Sounds about right. This is weird. Tanks are almost leading the way back into that factory section.
The Panzer Force and Panzer Run?
Yeah, that's a little weird for me.
I mean, we got a motorized rifle squad, which isn't almost in range to knock out the Panzer Run, but yeah, it's a little bit weird. He kills the Stuart, the Panzer IV, but he does need infantry in front of those tanks, Khan. I'm not gonna lie. Oh god.
Especially those motorized rifles sitting in defilade, holding fire. Please, dear God, and you have to see them.
I know. Yeah, he is in range. He can't see him?
No, he can't.
Oh yeah, the infantry.
Something his Panzer Grenadiers get completely ambushed, but let's not focus too much on that. I imagine. Pioneers are coming in.
Pioneers! There we go. The Pioneer savior. God.
P4 in the meantime is going to trade fire with a Sherman, goes down instead. Was that to the Firefly? Yes, it was. Firefly picks off one of the P4s.
And Pack 40 going to be trading shots or trying to knock out the Sherman, but to no avail.
And what I do like, is that, you're right. Pack 40's been brought on in. There's another Befehle Panzer IV to the north. And I feel like I'm missing a Panzer IV.
No, that's only the first Befehle that's been out. It's all been J's apart from that. We got one Panzer IV all the way up north, hidden by the MG42.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. So I was like, okay. Actually, I know one went down just now from the Sherman, or the Firefly. But that was about it. We are back to a 50-50 split. That's kind of surprising for me.
Yeah, Rias again, I mean, Pigeon's managing to take back some territory in his factory. The Pioneers really doing a darn good job just because they have the CQC weaponry to deal with the motorized rifles and whatnot. And with the Panzer IV-J and Panzer Run helping out, I think of maybe just, a bit more elbow grease and more of those stick grenades, Mr. Pigeon can take back the factory.
True, but he is out of those, and he just barely manages to get inside of that factory before he gets suppressed. So lucky duck there.
He's gonna get
and he gets forced to surrender. Casting curse, my friend, casting curse. P4's gonna get stuck into the north. He's going after that infantry, really picking on them, and with the half track there's absolutely no reason not going to push that back.
Yeah.
Which means that the Befehle P4's coming on in, so now we have 2 rather studly P4s moving forward.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking Pigeon's really pigeonholing himself in by not getting a single mortar. By not getting himself a single mortar half track. Because honestly, on both flanks it would help out a lot. In this factory, if we're dealing with infantry, and even counter battery in that section because it's so close. But up north, we're just stunning up the rifles and Stuarts before moving through with his Panzer IVs.
Another flank panzer coming in, by the way. A couple of squads of infantry. Overall, I know the Brits can go and just throw in huge amounts of infantry. How about the Germans?
Pigeon can get a pretty decent amount of infantry considering he is a panzer tech. But the main thing is the infantry veterancy, because in A phase they have no vet, and B phase my Panzer has 1-star vet infantry, and then by C phase you can get 2-star vet infantry. So I'm wondering if Pigeon went for the 2-star strat, where he only has some infantry to get through A and B, but once he gets into C phase, we got 2-star Panzer Grenadier squads running around with jewelry old MG42s just shooting everything that moves.
Mm-hmm.
You've got another Flam Panzer and I believe some more Pioneers to try and clear out the factory, and I really do approve of his Flam Panzer play.
Well, so far, of course. I mean, if you have tons and tons of garrisons, you
Yeah,
definitely want to go and
this is the map for it.
it
This
is.
factory is Flam Panzer heaven.
It is. And I have to
Yeah,
give some love actually over to Slim Dusty though. Using that Sexton, I was afraid that maybe it was a little bit premature. No, that thing's taken out a couple of Pack 40
yeah.
emplacements. He's taken out tons of crews. And P. Grunt's actually taken out the Cromwell with a close
Oh
range
wow,
Panzerfaust.
damn, good flank, good flank.
You know, you
But
take your eye off that ball for 1 second.
yeah, but like you're saying about Saxons, Saxons are such lovely artillery pieces because it's a 25 pounder, it's armored, and we all know the 25 pounder might as well just be like a semi-automatic gun because it just shoots so bloody fast. And
Mm-hmm.
against all these, especially against light pounder, it has more lighter vehicles and relies a bit more on static weaponry and whatnot.
Flam
Just
Panzer's
have
down, by the way.
oh,
I'm sorry, I had to cut in. All right, so the third Flam Panzer has gone down.
but the Saxons are just very useful for standing up the Panzer IVs and the infantry, so it's really anything that Pigeon can bring up. And oh, another Panzer IV goes down, yeah. And really, just looking at Slim Dusty, he has such a huge tank force. He's really building up. He's got 2 Shermans, Stuarts, a Firefly,
2 Sextons.
2 Saxons. This is a really scary... Another Firefly, Jesus Christ. It's getting really scary because that's just such a large armored blob that you have to deal with.
True, but at the same time that Firefly is being sent to the north, he cannot deal with the P4 and the Befehle up there.
Yeah. Unless he can... I don't know. He can get at 1.2 kilometer range a bit, but... Yeah. Because the Fireflies do outrange the Panzer IVs, which is the major issue. You know, thinking once we hit into siege phase, I wouldn't be surprised if Pigeon gets a Tiger 2. Or Tiger 1. Not a
The
Tiger,
Tiger 2,
A
like, good
Tiger...
lord.
A Tiger 2 would be... Okay, I see a Tiger 1 would be a better purchase nonetheless, but he can get 2 Tiger 2s that have 2-star veterancy, so close enough.
Pack 40 finally gets himself a little bit of a kill here, forces a bailout. But Wall Street says they don't care too much. That tank, oh, there we go. The tank finally goes down, but the Sextons are going to blow him to smithereens.
Yeah.
Poor sod.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, you know, at least one more to half track something really help out against the Sextons. Just saying.
I do kind of feel like Slim Dusty's armor, while he's had such a great wealth of it, he's not really massing it and throwing it through for any kind of Schwerpunkt kind of activity.
Yeah, you are correct, because he really can just push the flank right now of all his armor and make quite a bit of progress, but he's using it more of a defensive screening manner to try and stop any armor moves from Mr. Pigeon. At the same time, because he's being pretty defensive with all his Shermans, they're staying alive.
That is accurate. By the way, both Shermans both Panzer IVs to the north have gone down, courtesy of those Fireflies. So it doesn't seem to matter what Pigeon does. He is unable to fly away with this game, even as we start to flock over to Phase C.
And you thought my joke was bad.
That's true. That's true. But you know
You
what?
double rammied it. Wow. Wow. That was good. I'm impressed how you segued that.
I do what I can. I do what I can.
can.
I'm here all week. I'm definitely here all week.
You're here all night. Oh god.
So also shockingly, we haven't seen any kind of munitions. Of course, not every single vehicle or even infantry has been able to survive to necessitate having ammo on the map.
Yeah.
But we are seeing now the Sexton is starting to run low on ammunition.
Yeah, it still has 20 shots, which really speaks volumes about how reliable the Saxon is in terms of just munition supply. 90 artillery rounds in a single unit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of boom.
Well, and they don't sacrifice anything for the smoke or that direct fire AP either.
No, I mean, you could use it as an anti-tank gun. Wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
True, but you know, just in a pinch, of course.
Just in a pinch, of course. If you get flanked by a pesky Panzer II, I mean, the Saxons, yeah, it's got your back covered.
I have amazing news. The Germans have basically retaken the factory complex.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real infantry in there right now except for the 4 M5 half-tracks coming in with motorized rifles. But apart from that, they got it. For now. For now,
Sure.
yo, his Panzer IV, if he were to position himself, maybe he could knock out a half-track or two before the infantry can get too close.
I was gonna at least get rid of the dingo. That'll be a small victory
Yeah.
unto itself.
And Dingo was his name, oh.
He's now daddy-o.
Yep.
Anyway. 48 over here now in favor for Pigeon.
It's real
So
close.
again, we're gonna have ourselves pretty much another tie-up. It looks like, but like you said, those 4 squads of infantry coming on in might have something to say about that situation.
Now backed up with half tracks too. That's going to be a rather tough nut to crack, and they do have Piats, and that Panzer IV is kind of in between a rock and a hard place. Oh
True.
god.
Maybe a factory or two far, if you know what I mean. Wow. Okay. Well, he's gonna get a little bit of death and destruction, and then here's his own death.
Okay, the Pioneers are actually covering the Panzer IV at least, so maybe the Panzer IV can destroy these guys.
You think so? I don't know. I'm skeptical because he hops in, hops out. There we go.
Ah, god. I thought he could at least stun motor rifles south of him, but nope. And yeah, all the motorized rifles, and the factory is pretty much in British hands once again.
I'll give you 50-50. They own the northern side, the Germans own the southern side.
Okay, yeah, okay. You still got the Panzer Grenadiers holding the areas, of course, and that Panzer Run Searchen valiantly defending that place with no tracks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we please give a little bit of a shout out to that poor guy? He's been there for what, 10 minutes, 12 minutes? His crew is bravely sitting at their controls, knowing they can't move if a big tank comes their way.
I mean, if you lose the tracks, you become pillbox.
True. And if you lose your guns, what do you become?
You become heroes.
I wasn't thinking of it that way, but that's entirely accurate. What was I thinking?
Oh, you're thinking of pillbox. My bad. Have you seen the movie The Beast?
I have not. You gotta help me out there.
It's just like a movie made in the 80s about an Russian tank crew in Afghanistan, essentially. And that's where that whole, like, where you lose the tracks, I become turret. If I lose my gun, I become pillbox, etc. comes from.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a good movie. I recommend it. I mean, it has a tank in it, and I like tanks, so yeah, we go.
Sounds about right. I would say, at the same time, though, of course, we have some action going on here, folks. But you know what? You've seen this meat grinder before, so take a quick cinematic digression here. No, at the same time, I also heard like the whole kind of Soviet thing where it was, if you run out of ammo, pick up another gun. If you lose your gun, then you fight with your knife. If you lose your knife, you fight with your hands. If you lose your hand, you bite the enemy. And if you lose your feet... That sounds
pretty Soviet, so
yeah.
I would have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, gosh. You have to give a lot of respect to the guys who are able to go to the front day in and day out. They can't clock out at the end of the day, folks. Wow, a lot of respect to these guys. Digital and historically accurate at the same time. We are seeing a little bit of that concentration to the north. We have, 2 Fireflies and a couple of Shermans, but he's not being aggressive at all. And ammo explosion.
Wow.
Pack 40 from way downtown.
Yeah, I'm expecting that Sextons to respond in kind, because we've got 3 Sextons now. And I'm really, this is really surprising. He has such a huge tank force and such just armor. Yeah, Mr. Slim Dusty has, yeah. He has artillery as well. He could break through somewhere, in all honesty. There's really not much stopping him. I mean, you've got a Panzer 1C being brought down south here for Pigeon, but... Oh, we got a Tiger as well. Never mind. I
was gonna make that one. Make the comment as you.
I didn't see the Tiger yet. I got a little bit carried away, but still, I mean, the artillery, Tiger to death, and then rushing the Firefly. That's a pretty easy kill.
I do get the feeling though that maybe Slim Dusty feels like he's running out of steam, and I don't know why. He should have plenty to call on.
Yeah, and you just get so much infantry in C-Face motorized rifle and tank support too. I mean, you got an Achilles now being brought out, but Mr. Pigeon is holding on pretty well. He still has that +1, I think, really just due to the southern flank. He has moved up a little bit, but I mean, it's defending well. He doesn't really necessarily have to have the factory, just as long as he doesn't lose much ground from here on out. He will hold out pretty well.
He1 has finally died, by the way, as is a rather valiant half-track who's thought that charging a Piat was a good idea.
Yeah.
And looks like we're getting a whole holy host of Sextons coming on. We have another one coming in now,
Jesus.
So 3 of them.
That's scary. I would not want to be under...
Slight overkill, I would say, but
I think 4 Sextons is overkill, but you can't go wrong with overkill artillery.
True. Talk to me about the southern flank. We were talking about the southern flank of how the Americans are really, excuse me, the Brits. Wow.
Wow.
How the Brits really haven't been too aggressive in it. Have they missed an opportunity here?
I think both sides have really. I mean, the Germans are now on the move through a little bit and take a little bit of ground, but I mean, you just get a small little armored force with some recon and just try to make as much ground as you can down south before you get pushed back, and then just hold is usually a pretty good strategy, and especially for Pigeon right now because he does have a bit of the north of that river under his control. So if you also do just a crazy push down south, he doesn't have to worry about being flanked up north really. Yo, I know if he were to get a Panzer IV down south, yeah, that'd be lovely.
You might be getting your wish. Oh no, there's one cone in the center part
Yep.
of the map. Never mind.
Two of
I am
them,
a
yeah.
little surprised. Help me out. Why is that Pigeon only slowly moving the territory right towards it just now? For the longest time, he was man behind enemy lines, but he was not suppressed at all.
Where? Up north?
No, no, factory complex. So you can see right now that Pigeon moving across into that first row of real buildings.
Oh yeah.
For the longest time, he was behind enemy lines. There was no stress whatsoever, but he was still quite afraid.
I think because he's just outnumbered by infantry essentially, and because Slim Dusty had more infantry in that concentrated area, it considered his part of the land. Yo, yeah,
Fair enough.
Pigeon, he's not really going to make much ground in that territory with only one Panzer Grenadier. Yo, he does have that Tiger, it is on an open field. It is backed up by a command vehicle, so good on him, but guess what? 1, 2, 3 tanks with 17 pounders. You may have 3-star veterancy, but it won't save you from 3 17 pounders.
Well, that's the thing I was gonna make the comment about as well. As I'm looking here, I'm trying to figure out exactly how. Ooh, he's coming online right now.
Yeah. Oh, is he shooting a sexton?
Sexton. Oh,
Oh god, that was a good shot. Good shot. And look, the Fireflies were rushing in to try and get his revenge, but
yeah, but it's too late for that one crew. They can only get last rights
I
here.
I don't know. The Fireflies and Achilles are pretty much going to be attacking him run and run, it seems, and in a run and run engagements, and the artillery's falling way too far. Jeez.
And at long last, we are going to see a couple of Tempests coming on. And Pack 40 gets strafed to pieces. That's one thing we haven't really talked about. Air power. Is that really a big deal at all?
Nah, both sides not really. You can get the Tempest for it's a fantastic plane for Guards Armoured, but really for both sides you want to be using your ground units. And because they don't have to worry about either side's air power all that much, that's why I haven't really seen any planes.
Mm-hmm.
And all that Tiger, I think he's
Never mind.
Oh, damn.
Beautiful
Yep.
shot from the Achilles, but
Yeah.
hit that guy in his heel, and he's pretty much all screwed. E4 though are still in the area. 496 to 865, 4753. Germans are leading the way still, tiny bits here.
Yeah, I really felt like Slim Dusty. I mean, he does have the forces capable. Now he's actually attacking with his tank force after killing the Tiger, getting a bit of confidence. And I think now Slim can start taking the territory and be aggressive. He's got a Cromwell Mark 7, which is an odd sight to see. And yeah, hopefully he can, be a bit more aggressive now.
Well, at that point, he has to prove he is the real Slim Shady.
I
I don't know why. Honest hand to God, the entire time I was looking at this, and I was like, Slim Dust. I was thinking Slim Shady. I was thinking Marshall. And I was thinking, oh man, here we go, tactical thing going on. But
I've been trying to think of making an M&M joke throughout this entire cast, but I couldn't think of making one yet. So thanks for jumping in first.
Happy to. Germans not bringing a whole lot in that much anymore either. I'm surprised. They can't be tapped out either, can they?
I mean, you can get for the Germans, they can get one more Tiger. And if he's smart, he really should have Jagdpanzers in his deck. Jagdpanzers won't save you against 17 pounders. They're much better against, American arm decks with 76 mils. But it has armor and it can at least range and somewhat kill Fireflies, or not extremely effectively as it only has Trove AP.
They're defensive weapons though. They're not any kind of aggressive weapon.
Yeah, defensive, but I'm thinking right now with his armor push that's coming on, he's going to want some defensive weaponry. But thinking for Pigeon, what's really helped him out a lot of this match is his infantry play. I mean, the Panzer Grenadiers up north has really held on their ground for quite a bit. And just down south in the factory, just a little bit of infantry play has helped out. He hasn't really been running any major engagements with them, I'm not going to lie, but he just managed to hold his ground with his German troops, which is more than enough. Just holding these small flank advantages.
Now we're seeing basically the guards drub everything that exists in terms of German AFVs.
Hmm.
Is that fair? Is that a fair comparison here, or is it just that very, very unlucky? Jagdpanzer coming in, by the way, eastern side.
There we go, finally. But in terms of how they just like pretty much blown up every single German tank.
Yep.
Yeah, that's because Slim Dusty is doing the good strategy of keeping his tanks in pairs and not in, you know, one by one. And because he just says he managed to pretty much save up and get such a large tank force roll, Pigeon has been much more aggressive with his Panzer force, and because of that, he's been losing his Panzer force, so he hasn't managed to amass such a death ball, you could say, of armor.
Mm-hmm.
And also, just the artillery is really just it's going quite crazy now. And you got another platoon of half tracks being brought up to
Mm-hmm.
help his attack, and this is what I mean, Mr. Slim. He just needs to charge in with what he's got. I mean, if you lose some tanks, whatever, it's really about that map control in the end of the day.
True. True. I am surprised the factory has not taken more devastation.
Yeah, I mean, the Germans are now actually in it, using a Panzer IV to rather good effect. But yeah, the buildings are still alive. You haven't really seen any off-map artillery, which I think Rye, the factory, is still pretty much in one piece.
I am amused slightly. We're back to a 50-50. It seems like the Brits get themselves, they stir themselves and get ready for a fight, and the Germans say, "Oh, you want to attack us here? Well, we'll attack you someplace else instead," which is
Yeah,
exactly how they should be responding to this.
yeah, and that's just good Ninth Armored play. You just be
Panzer,
aggressive
Panzer,
all over.
please, can't call it armored. Oh, hurt me
Did
inside.
I trigger you?
Oh, a little
Okay.
bit.
But yeah, that's how you play Ninth Panzer. You attack in multiple flanks. You're a very flexible division who can change their playstyle up quite a bit. You can do light armor rushes. You can fight somewhat toe to toe with more heavy armor. You can do good infantry play. When you see down south right now, we've got
Hmm.
Spar troops and MG42s and Panzer Grenadiers doing a good job taking a bit of territory. And like you said before, you know, the Brits are attacking up north. Mr. Pigeon's going to be like, hey, I'm going to see what's going on down south.
Indeed, indeed. So, Firefly is going to go after. No, no, it's no, it is the Firefly. Excuse me.
Yep.
Is going to go after that Jagdpanzer. Jagdpanzer is running for his life, but at least he's showing the proper side to the enemy.
Yeah, that's shown his front, which is exactly the right way you want to retreat. But now, yes, Slim Dusty is managed to push up to this area. The Pigeon's really buggered because if you look at his spawn point, it's all just open ground, and Pigeon can't get a tank that has enough armor to deflect a 17-pounder. So, I know, even this Panzer IV right now is a little bit outgunned, and this is what I mean about using his Panzers one-on-one single-handedly instead of trying to amass a bunch and then attack. Because that Panzer IV just got knocked out. We got another Panzer IV moving in. He's going to go into the same spot and then get killed by the same gun.
True, true. But at the same time, with these guys moving into the south, he's lost a ton of territory on his side. He doesn't seem to care at all. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Screw it. I got the southern side of this, and you cannot budge me.
Yeah, I mean, he can make some good ground down south, but if you look at the unit density, yeah, the Pigeon has down south, and then look at the unit density that Slim has up north.
Uh-huh.
Slim definitely has the larger fire support base to really make more ground essentially right now, and I think if it comes down to a land race, Slim would definitely win.
Wait. Are you saying that's what makes him larger than life?
You know, I think Slim, he's not really a king right now of all his tank play, but more of a god.
A rap god?
A rap god. A
Oh,
rap
interesting.
god with 17-pounders.
Now we are running almost close to the end here, only coming the last about 5 minutes or so of this game, and really in this whole factory area,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like those two Pigrens have been valiantly holding on. That P4 being that pillbox that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Well, it seems that Slim Dusty is having enough of it. He wants to get in and behind this P4. He wants to be able to see him, but it is not going to happen.
No, I think it was Tempest. Yeah, he's trying to stun up our Panzer IV so his Sherman can actually get the kill there. But just good use of the Panzer IV. Doing some good fire support. It is a good fire support vehicle. It does have 3 machine guns and a good HE cannon, so yeah, he's managed to get a bit of the factory and holding on to it, which is definitely helping in the map control department. But it's just looking at the point, Slim Dusty is at the plus run right now. It's going to be pretty much even Stevens if if the point trend continues this way, but Slim is just on the tip of getting that 1% extra, and then a +2 point advantage. I think Slim would win the match.
I think you're about right there. Piat going after that Panzer IV.
Yep. Yep.
And that's it. That is
These
probably going to pretty
Piats
much
have been on
break.
point this entire
Yeah.
match. Like, I haven't seen any major Piat fumbles. So, I know Slim Dusty's really counted as lucky styles. Lucky stars.
Or Styles, for that matter.
Or styles, yeah. I mean, he's good at freestyle, that's for sure.
Sounds about right. We are going to see. He's going to get a +3 now. If he gets a +4, then
Oof.
dear God, there's been a complete collapse of the Germans. The Germans have like a handful of units.
Yeah. +3, it's still not going to be a victory for Slim, which is... Damn,
That's
that's
true,
crazy.
but if he gets to 75%, then oh my gosh.
If he does, I'd be really...
He's going to. He's going to.
Oh god, can he get a checkmate by getting his Cromwell to the other side of the map? Because I heard if you get a Cromwell to the enemy side of the map, it upgrades to a Firefly.
Aha.
Yeah.
I must have missed that one. Do you have to use a Moonstone for that to happen, or no?
No, it's actually a Sunstone, and you can only do it on
okay.
Sundays.
At that point, it learns Tail Whip, and then
Yeah.
that's the game.
Yeah, but Khan,
Uh-huh.
if you press B 5 times, it actually does an Ultra Evolution, you see, but before you do that, you got to delete your save game.
Oh, I'll have to keep
Okay.
that in mind.
Okay.
74%. We're going to take over. He's going to get this.
Oh, that's so
He
close.
owns the
Look at his
entire
Panzer run
spawn
there.
area. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, but the second that this
Oh, no.
P1
Yeah.
dies, it's completely
Yeah.
+4. He's getting a minor victory in 2 minutes here.
Oh wow, this is my butt is cleansed. Look, this is what I mean by Slim. He had the opportunity to just make such a large push, and now just look at it. The map's blue all over.
He is certainly feeling kind of sad. What's coming? Jagdpanzer are coming on in.
Oh. Oh, this is nuts. This is an absolute rat race between both sides. It's map control now. Unit survivability, who gives a crap? I mean, you've got the Panzer Grenadiers barely holding on to that factory, completely surrounded now, and the Panzer, the half tracks and MG42 down south running for their lives. Oh god, this is a rat race. And all
This is just funny. I've never seen a collapse like this happen right here.
Yep.
+5.
Jesus.
The only time I've ever seen a +5 in my life is the first multiplayer game that I tried to play.
Wow. Were you on the receiving end?
No comment.
But we got more tanks being brought in, and the Guards armoured are just British armour representing. Just they got tanks everywhere, infantry everywhere. It's a complete collapse.
Commuting back and forth.
90% of the map, Khan.
I've never seen this happen.
I'm shocked and stunned.
Shocked and stunned?
Shocked and stunned, both
Wait.
at the same time, shaken and stirred.
You're definitely not James Bond, then. He's either one or the other. Never
I know.
both. Actually, okay, so if you take 100% of the map, does that equal an automatic win?
I don't think it's even possible to take 100% of the map, but
Getting awfully close for that, I don't know.
I think so. I think if you get to a point where they capture all the spawn point areas, you do win. Don't quote me on that.
Anybody out there, if you do know that, let us know in the comments on either one of our videos here.
Oh god, this is absolutely ridiculous. 93% before the match ends.
So Slim Dusty, who was behind points for such a long time, is going to plot a minor victory at the end of it all. Dear
Damn.
God.
Damn. Yeah, that's a comeback and a half right yeah.
Look at that KD too. Oh my gosh, that's courtesy right there, folks, of just having drips and drabs P4 committal here the entire game.
But yeah, just looking at the history right now, it's pretty even Stevens throughout the early stages of the map. A little bit later on, the Germans do lose that factory and they do start losing all those Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer IIs. But then there's a lot of British deaths throughout B phase, and then once you get to more like C phase, it starts becoming a bit more red overall, and the Germans just lose everything towards the end of the match. Jesus, just the amount of Panzer IVs he's lost is ridiculous.
Okay, there's a Firefly that has gotten 5 Panzer IV kills.
That makes him a tank ace, I think.
It does. Well, it also has a P1 in there, but it's not really That's not fair.
That's damn. I mean, that's what I mean about that Firefly. It's a really nasty unit to fight against 9th Armoured. And as a 9th Armoured player, what you want to do is try to get in those 1 kilometer range engagements. You don't want to be fighting in the complete open fields, because as you saw, you just get destroyed. But if you fight more in flanking, hedgerow to hedgerow fighting, your Panzer 4s, Panzer 1s, Panzer 2s work much well. Your tanks are more knife fighting tanks. You want to get in close.
Indeed.
You wanna
Indeed.
get
You
in
might
close.
you might not shoot first, but you want to shoot to kill immediately, of course.
Exactly. But that was a good match from both sides. Just fantastic play, lovely divisions, just going at each other, and Slim really taking it in at the end and making lots of headway.
Indeed. So
Yeah.
congratulations to both players. That was a thrilling game for me. I did not expect that finish.
I did not expect that too. That was really bloody well done. Me and Khan, as you can tell, are pretty impressed. Yeah, it was a good cast.
It was fun. Definitely fun. So congratulations to Slim Dusty. Bad luck to the old Pigeon. I guess he had to fly the coop on the end of that. He didn't seem like he was calling a whole lot in.
Yeah, it definitely towards the end. It's just he kept, like I said, he kept losing his Panzer IVs one by one instead of trying to amass a tank force. And even then, he just does not have the range to compete. And also, Pigeon really, he needed some artillery in that match. Just even more to half tracks would have helped a ton.
True. End score 1397, 1021. Any other final comments there, Ryan?
Nope, I'm good.
I say I'm tapped about well. So, folks, thank you so much for tuning on in. This has been another 1v1 cast. We'll see you guys all soon.
Bye bye.